Hello and welcome once again to yet another season, yet another show on professional perspectives. And this time we bring to you Sanjeev Gargate, who is in the creative field, the field of interior design. When we hear the word interior design, it sounds so, oh, okay, interior design. But we all know, I'm sure, when we sit down to think that it does take a lot to plan, to be able to design, and then to ensure that when it is executed, it takes shape exactly the way we visualize it. So,
Right.
just a bit about Sanjeev. He has been in this field for over 40 years. So, he not only practices but also teaches. So, he ensures that more and more people join the fold. He began his career in various interior industries such as Baheti and Associates and several names. I could just go on and on. But what is noteworthy is that he has been part of design forums such as the A&I Digest and Wide Angle Forum. Plus, he's also the visiting faculty for the Pune Institute of Applied Technology. Yes, I'm sure you must be understanding now that he lives in Pune. He sure does. He also is part of and a visiting faculty at Manilal Nanavati Vocational Training Institute, MNVTI, which is a very well known institute in Pune. And with some time that he has left and some time that he likes to steal away from his work and other things, he likes to contribute to an NGO as well, where he goes and works, connects with children who are the underprivileged lot. So it is a delight, and I can say that I'm so privileged to be associated with a person like Sanjeev. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, Anita.
Over to you, Vicky.
Okay, thank you. We're so happy to have you here. And I have to start with this question because I'm not a very creative type. And so I have to ask you, somebody who is so creative, how did you develop this passion for this field and for your creativity?
Right. After I just finished my 10th, that's a matriculate, I had been to Mumbai. At that time, this is way back in 84. And I remember at that time, interior design was just developing as a profession because it was majorly architecture. One of my elder sisters, my cousin, she was an interior designer, a professional interior designer. And she started taking me on site and I started seeing what type of drawing she was doing, working. And I realized that whatever she was putting down on paper, that was actually getting created on at site. And I really found it wondrous. I said, "This is something great." You know, you sit, understand the profile of a person, you understand his lifestyle, and then you start creating spaces or designing spaces which will revolve around him as a person. And this transit really made me get attracted towards interior designing as a field. So after 10th, I did my 12th. I completed my HSC. I did my graduation also. I've done my BSc. I've graduated in science. But then the moment I finished my graduation, I told my parents that I want to pursue design. That's the reason why I took up interior design rather than architecture, because architecture was 5 years. So I did a course in interior designing for 2 years. And that says it all. I mean, this is how it came. So the creative element which I saw, whatever you have in your mind, you put it down on paper and it starts getting created on site. This transit was really fascinating for me.
Wow. May I, Vicky?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, being in this field, what is it that really gives you the drive to keep on and on persistently and getting delight out of it?
Right. See, I've been practicing individually for more than maybe 25 to 27 years. I've done an internship for around 10 years where, I was working on projects right from very small cabins to large malls and, furniture showrooms. So I felt in all this process, I was connecting with so many different people, interacting with them, understanding their psychologies, understanding what they like, what they don't like, and trying to give my best. So I always believe that isn't it a very nice aspect that you're creating lifestyles or you're creating entirely something new which will comfort a person not only to grow physically but to grow psychologically also. Okay, and this element, I suppose, is a driving factor in me. So when a new space comes, the first thing it comes into my mind is what are the type of people I'm going to design this for? What would be their likings, dislikings? How do I make them comfortable? And this really fascinates me every time. So a new project, a new challenge is there, and I've seen that no single person matches to another. I'll never see two people exactly identical to each other. They'll be entirely different from each other. So I suppose that
Did
was
you
the
have to
element
have
which fascinated me.
did you have to have a little psychology background for that?
Actually, I have not studied psychology, but yes, through experience or whenever I was stuck up somewhere, I talk to fortunately, I'm blessed with very good teachers, and my connect with the teachers is also very good. Or then, as Anita ji said, I'm connected to the academics. So over there, I try to understand how human psychology works. I have my own understanding towards it, or I have developed my own understanding, and by God's grace, my understanding has worked around 99%. So
Oh dear.
Uh-oh. Is he frozen or are we frozen?
Connectivity blip.
Okay. Hopefully he'll come back.
Yes.
Say hello. I want to say hello to Vidya, and some other people have come. Let me remind oh, he's back.
Yes.
Go ahead.
yes,
Sanjeev, go ahead. Yes, go ahead and continue.
yes. No, that is it. So I think so over time when I've interacted with so many different people, and in this profession, you don't only interact with a client, you're going to interact with a vendor, you'll be interacting with laborers, some skilled laborers, some unskilled ones. And so the combination of all these things has, enhanced my aspect about understanding human psychology. This is what I feel.
When you were working on your college degree, did you know what you wanted to do afterwards, or did that develop while you were in college?
Yeah, I had, yes, when I joined, I had just framed out or figured out a certain aspect of what I would like to do in my future. Like it was something like a milestone which I had set. But then I started realizing that it was demanding more amount of hard work, efforts, which obviously I put into. But then initially I had planned to do an internship. The entire process of internship was so interesting, and I was working on so many different projects with a lot of responsibilities put on me. I extended it to 10 years, and then I started my own studio. So I suppose that 10 years of my internship paid off very handsomely because my studio was, you know, it's kicked off very nicely right in the beginning, right from the beginning itself.
Wow.
Is that unusual to have a 10-year internship?
It's not usual. I've generally seen now, though, the generation now is very desperate. They don't even work as an intern for not more than 6 months, and they jump into their own profession. But then I thought my internship for 10 years was a good one because it enhanced my practical knowledge. I was good at academics, but my practical knowledge developed 1,000 times more than maybe any other person who must have done an internship only for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, that's key. Go ahead, Anita.
So you said that you have been liaising with several stakeholders, not just the person who wants the place done up, but also
Yes.
the laborers, the skilled, unskilled people. So having
Yes.
to deal with them, how does it, how do you manage the balance?
Sometimes it's very difficult because, again, as I said, your client could be from any different strata. Okay. But then laborers also, you need to understand again their psychologies. You need to understand that okay, in all this, experience did matter. I did my own mistakes. I learned. I had a small losses because of that also, but I learned out of it, and I started understanding that if you want to communicate, if it's going to be a laborer, you need to step down to his level and talk to him. Okay. At the same time, if I'm talking with if I'm doing a commercial project and I'm doing an maybe a commercial project of a corporate office or something, there entirely my connectivity with the people over there will be very formal. So I think so over time, through my mistakes, through some guidance, I attended some good sessions also where public speaking was taught to me. And this is how it developed. And I think so I've got a good rapport today with whomever I speak to.
Wow.
Yeah, well then let's go ahead and talk about language, because it sounds to me like you're speaking of something that often I teach when I'm teaching English, and that we call it code switching. But you
Right.
mentioned speaking to people differently depending on who they are.
Absolutely.
So talk
Right.
to us a little bit about that aspect of language and its importance
Right.
and
Right.
different
Even in
people.
academics, I have seen, I come from a convent-based school. So in school, it was compulsory English. Okay. And only when I have
Mhm.
some regional language lecture, I'm supposed to communicate or converse in that language. Otherwise, strictly, we were speaking English. But then when I started coming to college or when I did my graduation, I realized that using pure one language was very difficult for the person whom you're communicating with. Because in my
Mm.
college, I had some of my friends coming from a different regional language medium they have learned. So I started using two, three languages at the same time. But then I realized that won't happen when I start coming into my profession, because at specific levels I need to communicate in English just because it's supposed to be the universal language, or I consider that's a language which is very easy to communicate. And many a times some terminology in interior designing are compulsory in English and we don't have any words for them, maybe in some regional languages. But then at the same time, when it comes to laborers, now in Maharashtra we have got laborers from all over India. So it's not necessary he'll be a local Maharashtrian. He could be somebody from Bihar, from UP, someone from the south. So I try to understand some languages and I started talking with them. Again, I knew Hindi very well, so I could communicate with them in Hindi. So I thought that developing your skills in language will only enhance your communication. Okay. A typical Maharashtrian laborer will comfortable if I'm speaking with him in Marathi rather than speaking with him in English, and so on. So I think so knowing a few languages which will help you in whatever location you're staying will always help you. And the best thing is that you should be good at English. And when I say good at English communication, that doesn't mean you have to be very refined using very sophisticated words for it. It could just be plain, simple English communication or any language communication.
Wow. So teaching, practicing, what is it that gives you the delight or the challenge?
Yeah. The first thing is I always say that, yes, I am an interior designer by profession, but I used to be a teacher. Just give me one minute. I always believe that I am a born teacher. So I come from a typical Indian family who believes that whatever you're going to earn or whatever you're going to gain, you're supposed to give back in any ways. So maybe if I'm earning two morsels a day, okay, I should save a bit of it and I should give it back to somebody who's really into need. I don't know, this aspect has deep rooted into me. And the day I finished my academics, I had decided that by any means I want to give back to my fraternity. And I felt being a teacher, a professional teacher, because I've seen comedy professionals are not ready to start teaching or come into academics. So though I'm not a hardcore teacher, I have connected with the colleges as a visiting faculty. So I have my days selected and I go only for those days. But then I feel a professional going and teaching at an vocational stream will always help, because what is going on in the industry, okay, could be added to the academics. So I have always been, asking the new students also that practice for a few years. Once you have gained practical knowledge, try to connect back to academics. This is how you can give back to the fraternity, and which helps really largely, or I think so it's a moral responsibility of each one to give back to the society or to the fraternity.
Wow.
So we happen to know that Anita was one of your students. And
Yes.
so are you teaching specifically interior design, or do you try to teach the students also, helping them to find their passion? Anita once used the word
Yes.
redevelopment.
Right. Yes.
So explain
Fortunately,
that
what's
to us.
happened is, yeah, fortunately, what's happened is, I have always been passionate about interior design as a subject. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And before interior design, we take a basic design. So that is, I teach basics of visual arts. Now, visual arts is something to
Okay.
do with beauty. So I teach a subject in which the aspects are going to try to help you in improving, I won't say improving, in refining your appreciation towards beauty. And I
Okay.
feel this is something really very fascinating. And whatever I'm teaching as a basics, they're actually basics of life. So I feel that when I'm teaching this, initially I started teaching it only in respect with interior design. But later on, I started realizing that this is the basics of living. So if I could connect this to the students, automatically they'll develop as designers, okay? And initially they'll develop as human beings, which I suppose is very important. And this is how, my process started. Though again, I've done a lot of trial and error. Then now I have started connecting them with all different art forms. In our institute, we have formed an art club where all different streams of art, special people are connected. We have sessions every month for them. So I believe my subject could be understand. Maybe Anita is not good at drawing, maybe, which is really important for interior design, but she's good at music, or she's fond of music. So maybe whatever I'm teaching, she could understand through music. And isn't it more easier rather than me telling her to just pit pat whatever I have taught and perform in the exams? Maybe she'll have a better development towards the topic which I'm teaching her. So automatically people will evolve as good human beings and obviously as good designers.
Any aha moments, any, oh my goodness, why did I get into this kind of moments?
Okay, very frankly, I'll tell you, the amount of, I know I should not be saying this because I call myself as a teacher first. Yeah, the monetary returns are slightly subtle as compared to profession. So sometimes it does pinch me when I see some of my uh, college friends doing much more better. When I say much more better, earning much more money than what I have been earning for the past few years, just because I have dedicated a major chunk of my life to academics. But then when I look at the amount of returns, otherwise, I've seen so many of my students doing good work, successfully practicing, getting appreciated with a lot of awards. They coming back to me and telling me, Sanjeev sir, see, this is what I've achieved, this is what I'm doing. I feel that satisfaction is much more. So yes, sometimes when it comes to money, especially we all must have realized in the pandemic, it has pinched everybody's wallets to a great extent. That I did feel. But then when I look around and I see, I'm known over here. Every other interior designer has been my student because I've been teaching for so many years, and I feel nice about it. So yes, there are sometimes moments which I feel I should have just stuck to my practice and I would have done 1,000 times what I better than what I'm doing today. But I'm equivalent to doing for good projects. We have got repeated clients. I don't have to go to anybody's doorstep for asking for work. That means I've got good work on hand.
Wow. Any best projects so far? Hello, did you get me?
Yes.
Any best project so far?
We want to know about your greatest accomplishments.
I can't hear you.
You can't.
Connectivity issue. Maybe the headphones connectivity. Internet issue. I think it should be better now. Yes.
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, now we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Anita.
So I was wondering which one, any one or more have been your best project or projects, your accomplishments?
Oh, that's difficult to say, but yes. As I told you, we have been doing a lot of various projects, majorly residential projects, but yes, a bit of commercial ones also. I remember doing a school, a very simple school, an English medium school in Pune itself. It's slightly located on the outskirts of Pune. And the motivation of the client was very nice or very clean, I would say. His kids couldn't get admission in an English medium school just because they are not studied from an English medium school. So if the parents are from a Marathi medium or some regional language medium school, English medium schools were not giving them admission. So this is how it was motivated by him to, have a school for the people who don't get admission in English medium schools. So he had approached us with a very stringent budget, and he had given us a free hand to design the entire school. Now, here is where my academical connect helped me a lot. And I suppose that project has evolved very nicely. Though we couldn't bag any awards for the project, but then there were special mentions specifically given for the projects because we had thought a lot of thought procedure had gone behind the entire designing. And it went for a prolonged period of around 3 years. So as the school developed, we were working at different stages. So it was exciting doing it, though the project was prolonged for 3 years. So I suppose that project is very close to my heart, or even my business partner Sandeep's heart.
Oh, wow. Wow. I can feel that.
Right.
There must have been stressful moments as well. How do you work on your stressful times? Times when you are really at your wits' end and you wonder how to do what to do next. How do you turn them into positives?
Yeah. I have always believed that whatever I have done was chosen by me. Okay. So nobody has forced me to do it. So the first thing is that I don't take a lot of stress. But yes, though I say I don't take a lot of stress, the stress is still there. Okay. I mean, though you don't physically point it out or you don't see it, it's there. Or until unless you don't have stress, you don't perform. This is what I believe. But yes, when I'm generally really, there's a lot of things to do and I know I'm going to run short of time. I think so. I focus on what is really very important. Okay. Uh, I have very good healthy habits. I try to maintain my health because I believe your mental and physical health has to be very strong. So there's a regime which I follow. I get up early. I go for walks. I do a bit of meditation. I read a lot. Okay. I listen to good music. I know this sometimes is really very difficult when you have a hectic schedule, but I do remove time. And I have made a point of writing a small diary. Okay, I maintain a small diary. So every day after I meditate or before I go to bed at night, I pen down whatever feelings I have in my mind. And at the end of 1 week, I go back to the first day. Okay, and I read everything just to see in what situation I was and maybe how I've handled it.
Wow.
And I believe that, see, this would be one thing because, yeah, I do have friends, but nowadays nobody has time. Okay. I've seen that we all are, after pandemic specifically, maybe we all are so busy that talking across with a friend for maybe an hour's time is a taboo. Okay. It's very difficult. So I thought ki maybe that book is a friend of mine. Okay. And I communicate with the book. I write down everything. And I believe when you write down, you tend to vent out things and it has helped.
Wonderful. Vicky?
Yes, we talked about aha moments, and a lot of times when I ask people about regrets, they're thinking that I'm only asking about things that they did that they wish they hadn't done. But
Right.
I also really do mean, are there any things that you wish that you would have done that you didn't do? So, any regrets on either side of the spectrum, Sanjeev?
Yes. Regrets. Yeah. Yeah. One very major regret is I mean I have thought about it lately. I wish I could study further. I missed doing my post graduation. I should have done it. I just graduated. I've done a diploma of 2 years. Okay. But yes, I took those 10 years to maybe do my post graduation in practical knowledge. But I feel academically, if I had actually I had an opportunity because I come from I won't say well-to-do family, but yes, an affordable where they could afford my another academics for maybe another 2 year or 3 years very easily. I think so. I should have studied further. So I would always request, or today also when I'm teaching, I keep telling the students that try to grab as much as academic education you can, because I feel me as a parent or my generation as parents are willing to allow their students, their children to study as long as possible. Right? It was not such that I had to start earning and support my family. It was not at all that ways. But I don't know. It missed me pursuing my academics further, and I think so. I should have done it.
Uh-huh. Were your parents, your family, were they always behind you, or did you have dreams different from their dreams for you?
Yes, my father, he wanted me to graduate and just have a job, a secure job of 9 to 5 or 9 to 6. But yes, I did graduate. As I told you, I've done my graduation in science, though I don't mention it anywhere because sometimes people feel it very clumsy that "Arey, you said you're passionate about design, then whatever you're doing in a science stream." Okay. I just did my graduation in science for my parents. So they felt secure that maybe if designing doesn't work, I could go back to some 9 to 5 job. So
Yeah.
in those days it was this way actually. Nowadays it's nothing like that. But I had told them that I know for well that I'll do good in my stream. Okay, I'll do good to make myself satisfied rather than somebody else satisfied.
Wow. So your day, what does a day look like for you?
Okay, as I told you, early morning I get up, I've got my own time for my exercise, my mental health. I cook. Morning breakfast is to be made by me. I'm staying with my mom and my nephew. And then it is someday if I've got a lecture, I'm supposed to run to the institute for lectures. By post lunch by around 2 o'clock, I'm free. And then I come back to my studio with my work. Otherwise, I've got 3 days I'm occupied at the institute. The rest of the days I'm at the studio working, maybe running around on site. Now Pune has become slightly, what do you say? It's getting crowded.
Mm.
True. Yes. You were saying Pune has become crowded.
I think we lost him again for a moment. So
Yes.
while we're waiting for him to come back, let me remind my students that are in my employability class to put your name in the chat, please.
At the end of the session. That's added to
There you-
my daily schedule nowadays.
Sorry, we lost you actually in between. Could you repeat the last bit, please?
Yeah, I said I've started doing something new recently, not recently, maybe a year back, but I'll tell about that right at the end of the session.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
let's
Well, we
going.
want to be sure. We know that you want to talk to our students, and we'll save time for that.
Yes.
But we want to
Yes.
hear your advice, your inspiration. If you could say anything to these students as they're
Yes.
they're finishing their degrees, they're getting ready to be launched, what would you like to say to them, Sanjeev?
Yes. That's very important. Uh, I've seen the younger generation is slightly restless, though they know what they exactly want. So that's something which I appreciate about today's generation. They know where they have to go, or which side they have to go, or where they have to reach. But I always feel they're just in a bit of hurry to reach over there. So I
Mm.
believe, as I said, I regret, learning more about design. So they should have maximum amount of educational, academical knowledge before they go into whatever they intend to do. Obviously, if they're given an opportunity to, and I believe nowadays avenues are open, facilities are given, so they could do that. Okay. Second thing is they should invest some time in the internships for some practice, some practical knowledge, and then go into whatever they want to do. So I believe these two aspects very importantly. And third aspect is an aspect where they could connect with some social work, which I believe puts you grounded. Doesn't allow your achievements to dance over your head. Shows you that ultimately, whatever said and done, you're a human being. And whatever you need to do is for humanity. This is what I believe. So these three things is one is academics, internships, and a connect to the society for the welfare of the society.
Wow, that's
I really,
beautiful.
yes, I really like that. The three things becoming one, not just one. Yes,
Right,
that's
right.
great.
I suppose their parents also won't have something different to tell them. Okay. But many times when parents tell them it's not taken very easily. Okay. So rather than realizing this at a later stage, oh, I should have done my studies. Oh, I should have done practice a bit more and then plunge into this. So might as well do it in the beginning. Whatever time frame is comfortable to them, they should do it. Or I've seen many times people when they're doing the internship, they could take more higher education because you have a lot of sessions going on online or short courses, which will enhance your knowledge about the subject, which
Mm,
I believe is very important from today. You need to keep yourself updated. So
yes.
how do you update yourself? Just keep on studying, keep on studying. And we always say, no, everybody for that matter in every stream, you never know the entire knowledge. You are never 100% knowledgeable. You keep learning every minute or every second of your life. So that
Absolutely.
just applies here.
Yes, of course. So well said. So, do you think it's easy to go back to studying after you've started working in the field?
I'll tell you, I was just tempted recently by one of my colleagues. She was teaching, her name is architect Vinita Lavate. She was teaching with me. She joined as an assistant maybe 10 years back. And she had done her bachelor's in architecture and she was doing her master's. And she kept telling me, Sanjeev, sir, join, you do your master's, let's do master's together. And she told me, I'll help you out with the assignment. So I just talked to her a month back. And that day also, she told me, sir, if you're still interested in master's, she's been teaching. She's a senior faculty at one of leading colleges in architecture colleges in Pune. She told me, Sanjeev, still you have a chance. You want to join? I'll enroll yourself. Don't worry about the submissions. I'll help you out. So I still feel, yeah, there's a chance. And I don't know, someday I like to do further studies. I want to do a degree in design. I want to learn architecture also. But right now, I don't know. I think so. There are a lot of things which I'm handful with.
Well, let me inspire you by saying that there was like 25 years between when I got my bachelor's and when I got my master's. So
Right. See, so it's never too late, right?
that's right. That's right.
Yes.
And I'm still studying, by the way.
So I think so. Even I'll get inspired from both of you. And next time when we communicate, I'll be telling you, okay, I have enrolled myself for this academic session, and I'll be pursuing my studies in this subject.
Oh, yes.
Right?
I look forward to that.
Absolutely.
Anita, do
So
you have any other? Yeah, go ahead, Anita.
I do, actually. So I do know that you are connected with the Bal Shikshan Manch.
Yes.
Would you like to share something about that, please?
Yes. See, now being into academics and basically being into an art stream, a friend of mine, Mr. Amar Paul, who has formed this NGO by the name of Bal Shikshan Manch, he had requested me to take up some art-based activities or workshops with his children. And I came to know that these children were children from a slightly semi-slum area, slightly underprivileged children. And he was working for them for more than maybe over a decade. Now, when he's saying he's working with them, he was working with them on their education and their psychology. And I connected with them, and I realized that I did for 2 years, I was just doing workshops with them. Then I started realizing that, or he told me that, Sanjeev, they're not good at English. And he saw I was very fluent at English. Then I started teaching English with them. I was doing speaking or spoken English with them. And slowly, we started making groups of kids from 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th standard. And I started looking after their academic development also.
Wow.
And slowly I got connected with them so strongly that, I thought this is how I could give back. So when I'm really stressful, the only thing I have to do is I just have to go to the where these people, they gather every day in the evening between 6:30 to 8:30. They sit and do their studies. So from 6:30 to around 8 o'clock, they sit and study. They do their homework and all these things, their revision and the talk. And from 8 to 8:30 or maybe 9 o'clock, it is just a sharing session. And believe me, Anita, it is so nice to spend time with them. See, these kids coming from slightly underprivileged backgrounds, they have more problems that what we have. So when I listen to
Really?
them, I try to make them understand. That time I realize that I'm blessed. I'm
Yes.
1,000 times blessed than what these people are. And they are so small and still struggling and fighting and have a zest to stand on their own. Then don't you feel we are in a much better position?
Yes, of course. And it
I
makes us
love, yeah, I love what you say about giving back. It's just,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And I think so. It is humanity. The first aspect of humanity is what you can give is more important than what you can take.
Yes.
So, and everybody is blessed with something. You just have to identify what you are blessed with. So, if I feel I'm good at design, let me share what I have.
Yes. I'm getting goosebumps even just listening to you.
Is that what motivates you today? Do you think?
Absolutely. Yes. I should say that. See, I've realized, I mean, even Anita knows, I've not, I won't say I've earned a lot of money, right? Today, I don't have a lot of money, but yeah, I have knowledge. So I can give that. I have got good friends who have a lot of money and whom I can connect with them. So this is what I'm trying to do. So I feel even this initiative is giving me that satisfaction. Okay, I'm doing something for people.
Yes, of course. And you feature in newspapers quite regularly.
Yeah, that is what I was going to tell you right now. I'll just show you something. Just give me a sec, 1 minute.
Some publication, I think.
I don't know if you can see this. I know you'll be seeing this reverse. These are some
Oh,
artwork
wow.
of late. Okay, they are known as name cards, and I'm gifting them to my friends who are connected to me in a very different way. So this is one which is incomplete. I've still not written the name.
Wow.
So this has recently come in the newspapers now.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, actually, I got this concept from my mother. I remember when I was small. I think so. Anita will connect with this. We came from a typical middle class family, and when there was a small, what do you say? Maybe it's somebody's birthday or something. My mom used to stitch a small dress, or she was good at embroidery, or she used to embroider something on the dress, and she used to give. So there was no concept of going to a shop and buying a gift and giving it to somebody. So whatever was there at home, she tried to put it together and she used to gift it. And she had her own skills and she tried to utilize or beautify that aspect with the skills which she had. So I just thought I was just I was good at drawing, so I started doing this doodle art or Zentangle art, and I started realizing, can I make small gifts and give it to people or gift it to people? So when I'm doing this gift for a specific person, okay, and if the person is known to me, I have memories of the time I have spent with that person or whatever I've communicated with, whatever was the interaction between both of us. And that's like a meditation for me because at the entire time when the artwork is being done, I'm just thinking about that one person. So I feel that's a good form of meditation.
Ooh.
And
Wow.
generally, you have good things. Nah? I'll tell you, fortunately, I've got all good people. Anita should agree with this. I've got all good people around me. I've got good teachers. I've got good bosses. I've worked with good bosses. I've got good employees. I've got good clients. So whatever I'm doing is more about positive. Okay. And I relive those moments. And then I feel that when the frame goes and it's put on a table in front of you, whenever you look at the frame, you're going to remember me. That's one thing. Or I'll be looking at you through my artwork. I know that aspect is there.
Wow, what a beautiful way of looking at things also. Like
I
I'll
know, I
be
know.
looking at you as well. Amazing.
So I've got two names added in that. So one is Anita and one is Vicky.
How sweet.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Anita, do you have any other questions before we open it up to the group?
I could actually just go on and on, but I think it's okay if we have it open to the group.
Yes, I think also that Sanjeev wanted to maybe interact a little bit with some of our students. It felt that way. You can tell he's a teacher, right? He wants to interact with the people around him. So let's first open it up to all of you. If you have a question, you can either raise your hand or put your question in the chat or just unmute. Bharati.
Yes. Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir. So my question is, I'm very much into art and painting, and recently, I started painting on few of my walls on the house, and I've seen people say, "Okay, you're doing something really permanent. Don't you think this is going to, hinder how the house looks to people?" So I wanted to
Right.
ask, sir. So should we hesitate to draw or paint something in on like in one room, which might affect the um, whole togetherness of the house, or is it like when you go to a room, it is just about the room, and is it
I
okay to
think so. It
make
is.
anything different?
Yeah, it is absolutely okay to do something different as long as you're creating it. You've said something very nice right now. See, if you're creating that artwork on the wall, okay, it is all about what you feel towards the room rather than what people will think about it. This is what I believe, right? And yeah, it'll remain permanent maybe till you get it repainted all over again. But as long as that artwork is giving you satisfaction, I think so that is what all houses are about, right? A house or a room for you is all about what you or how you connect with the room rather than how somebody else connects with the room. right? See, generally when we're doing interiors, I've generally seen people coming and telling me, "Oh, Sanjeev," they'll send me references and they show me photographs of 5-star hotels and saying, "See, I want my bedroom this way. I want my bedroom this way." So I keep telling them, you need to connect with the room or the space as your home and not as a restaurant or a hotel, right? That's exactly what you are asking me right now. That room is supposed to be belonging to you. You are supposed to connect with the room. When you're going to spend time in the room, that is going to help you develop physically and psychologically, which is important rather than what people say about it. What do you feel?
I am actually really happy that you said that, sir, because I've not heard
Right,
that.
right. And see, nothing is permanent, right? So one fine day, maybe after 5 years, if you plan to just repaint the entire room, your artwork could go off and you could recreate something new. Or you're free to do it. Maybe today you have liked it. Maybe after 6 months, if you feel कि अरे ये तो थोड़ा सा अलग लग रहा है, let me change it off. You're free to change it.
Yes. Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you, Sanjeev. Vijaya.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, like you mentioned it yourself, like
Right.
I heard that you did internship for like 10 long years. That is too much
Yes.
because
I know.
I have never interned for like more than 6 months or so. When
See.
when I have a target, I really feel like I'm running out of time. I'm running out of patience, and I'm really inconsistent. I know that, and I know that
Right.
myself that I can do a particular thing, but it's just that I lack motivation sometimes, and I just feel
Right.
like I'm lacking patience. Like I want to know how you continued for 10 long years. I mean, without running
Yes.
out of
Yes.
patience
Yes.
and that consistency.
Right. Right. Okay. I'll tell you, when I joined my first internship, I was just all alone. I was working with a lady architect, and I was the only intern working with her. So the entire workload was there only on me. So if Sanjeev is absent for one day, also the entire office will stop. Okay. But I realized this and I took this up as a challenge. Okay. And I suppose I developed my skills over there. Then after 1 year, when I hopped into a bigger organization where there were around 25 odd people and I was an entirely new face over there, I had a tough time. I had to struggle to prove myself. It required around 2 years to prove myself. But after 2 years, I was a senior most designer in that office. Okay. Where the rest of the interns were not allowed to communicate with the clients or nothing. I was a person who was moving out in the society, in the fraternity, and pulling and getting work for my office. So I was doing everything. I was getting new projects. I was communicating with people. I was traveling all over India for our work. And I just thought I grabbed those opportunities because I was dedicated to my work. And I was focused. I had to do my best. I thought I had to do everything here only because tomorrow when I start my own practice, I didn't want to do a trial and an error, right? Because if I go for a trial and error and there are some losses, it's going to pinch my pocket. Yeah. Or it will hinder my reputation, or it may disturb my morale. So whatever, jo bhi experimentation was there, I thought I should do it over here. And believe me, I was doing. See, today also in my personal practice, I've not designed a huge 3-star or a 5-star hotel, which I was doing there. Okay, there we were doing showrooms of more than around 25,000 square feet, and now I'm doing a showroom of maximum 5,000 square feet. Okay, so I thought there when I was getting a lot of opportunities, okay, to work on different projects, I thought why should I leave? Okay, one more thing was I was getting paid handsomely, right? Very important was I was getting paid handsomely. And then,
Okay.
when you're doing an internship, you're not solely responsible, though you're not solely responsible because there's a boss who's sitting above you to take up the entire responsibility. So I think so I was trying to play safe.
Yeah, like I understand the getting paid handsomely. I get that thing because that matters for me too. Because,
Exactly.
but again, like for now, I'm working with a startup, I would say, like
Hmm.
educational startup, something like that. And sometimes I get scared when I have to make a decision for myself. I get scared, and I know that it is said that relationship has 3 stages. First is easier thing, and second and third thing. So when it comes
Right.
to the second stage, I get scared and I run away. This
Right.
happens with me when I'm working. So
Oh,
I have to deal with the second stage so that I can go in that third stage and
the
the
third
permanent
stage.
stage. But I run
Right,
away
right.
with the second stage itself. So yeah, by listening to you, it really helped me. And
I know. Good, you've said something nice, that consistency should remain, to reach to the third stage. Even sometimes, even when I look back, I don't know, but I'll tell you, 10 years, there was not even 1 second of regret. Today also, I thoroughly enjoyed, I still say those were the best 10 years of my professional life. So today also, if I have any problem at night, 12 o'clock, I can call up my boss. My boss is supposed to be a very good friend of mine today. So I thought, that intraperson relationship with him, because of my dedication, my consistency in my work, I think so. I did that. You absolutely said, yeah. Even I had phases where I kept thinking, "Kya re, Sanjeev, why are you wasting your time over here? Might as well put the same efforts in your personal practice, and you'll do more better." But then second thought was coming, ki, chalo, they're putting responsibilities on me. They are allowing me to work. They're giving me a free hand. Whenever I plan to leave, the boss used to ask me, what do you want? Kya kam kya hai tere paas? If I say pay, they'll say, theek hai, how much you want? Tell me. I don't have time. How much time you want? So he was ready to give me everything. So which maybe today none of my clients also giving me that liberty. So I thought, right, might as well just take this opportunity and continue. I had a tough time to decide when I left after 10 years, because yeah, after 10 years, I was already married, and then, I thought, okay, no, now I have to start off on my own. Yeah. And I think so that was the right time I just moved out, because that time the entire system of my office also was going to change. We were only restructuring the entire office. So I thought when the restructure is going on, might as well I go out so that they can continue further. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ankita had her hand up. Ankita, do you still have a question, or should I go on to Satya Meghana?
Yes, ma'am. So first of all, good evening, sir and ma'am. Actually, sir, after listening to you, I am inspired, how you do in your life, or how to achieve your goals. So, sir, I have one question. Sometimes I am so scared and I am so long thought that how to know that my mind is creativity or not.
Okay. How do you know that your mind is creativity? What is your inclination towards? Are you pursuing some academics right now?
Yeah,
Are you
sir.
studying something? What are you doing?
I am in college and I am pursuing B.Ed. And sir, after exam, like 3rd of Jan, I had given my exam, and after that, I am so confused. Exactly what should I need to do?
Okay, I think so. Then and where are you located from? What place?
Yes, I am from Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh.
Okay. I think so the first thing what you could do is, maybe when you joined your academics, what was your goal? Maybe you can go back to that decision day when you decided to take up this academics. Okay. If you had thought that you will be finishing academics and you're going to do this, maybe you can rethink about the entire process, right? You could go and talk to your teacher or maybe to a mentor who could help you out with this, because I feel self motivation is the best aspect right now. So, if you have decided what you wanted to become and you're moving towards it, you don't have to have a doubt about what you'll be doing in future. This is what I believe. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir. Sure,
Right?
sir.
So maybe just rethink over that. Okay, man, I had thought I'll be doing this, at least at that time. This is how I came into this academics. Can you go back to that day again, think about why you had planned to do this? Okay, jot down things all over again and see whether that alignment is there. Because when you said that you're uncertain about it, that means the goal was not set properly at that time. But you can still refocus it right now, because I believe today there's no stream where you can't do good. You can do good in every stream, right? Because there are many avenues which are getting open nowadays. So just go and rethink over whatever you're done. When I say rethink, I don't mean you have to rethink. I mean, you don't have to change everything. Okay. Just see whether you had things aligned. Okay. I have to reach over there. This is how I'm going to go over there. And whether it's happening that ways. Okay. And if it's not happening that way, then try to restructure your entire path. And I think so that will help you out.
Okay.
Restructuring your path may help you out, because you don't have to change your goal. You just have to restructure your path.
Do you understand, Ankita?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. All right, Satya Meghana, what is your question?
Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, good evening.
So, good evening, sir. So the thing is, a youth like this generation has varied interests, especially when it comes to me. I am interested in so many things. Like I love reading books, I love to listen music, and I do mandala art. There are varied interests of
Great.
mine. But when
Right.
it comes to a career,
Uh-oh. Did we lose her?
Yes, we lost you.
Oh, Satya, you got muted. You need to unmute again. Satya Meghana? There we go.
sorry, did you lost me?
Yes, we
Yes,
lost
yes.
you.
You could repeat. Yeah, you could repeat what you were saying.
Okay. So I am a person of varied interests. So
All right.
when it comes to choosing a career out of it, if I'm reading a book and I sometimes write stories, so I feel like, yes, I'm doing this good. And when it comes to, yes, I'm doing this good too. So I always wonder about like, okay, what is my actual interest? What is my career going on? What do you think, or any suggestion on how you
Okay. Can you define career according to you? What do you believe? How will you define career for yourself?
I would define it as where you get your standard income, or the work you do, your profession would be your career.
Very good. Okay. So, and how do you select a profession, maybe?
Would be the way you do the best one.
Exactly. You said it. Okay. Whatever you will do the best, okay, will help you out, right?
Yes.
So maybe as you're saying, at situations you divert from whatever you like. Okay, you can try everything out on a smaller scale and see what works for you. And it's absolutely fine when things don't work. I know so many people who have done so many various things in life, not sticking to one aspect of liking. Okay, but they are happy. So nobody has defined, okay, no, you have to do this, okay, and earn this much amount of money your entire life. You got it?
Yes.
This aspect of financial security is there in us, or it is developed in us by maybe our seniors or the society around us. Okay. So if you earn this much, then only you will be successful and all these things, right? The main important aspect is in whatever you're doing, are you happy with it? So if you're going to be happy, then that's it. And happiness could be found. I'll be happy if I eat good food. I'll be happy if I see a good painting. I'll be happy if I meet good people. I'll be happy when I'm talking to all of you. Are you understanding that?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
why bind yourself with something? I still absolutely understand, because I'll tell you, sometimes I feel our Indian culture is this: at a specific age, you need to settle, you need to earn this amount of money, then you need to get married. These are parameters which society has framed, which are good. I won't say they are wrong. They are absolutely good. But don't entangle yourself with that. Yeah. Try to free yourself. So today maybe I'm happy doing this. Tomorrow maybe I won't be happy. I'll be doing something else. No issues. But then take the sole responsibility of whatever the consequences are by yourself. Okay. But there's nothing wrong about it. So changing your likings is not really going to matter. This is what I believe. Are you understanding?
Okay.
Yes.
I know it's
Yes.
slightly difficult, but yeah, you'll have to work upon that. Accepting that your mind is not stable. Okay. But one day surely that acceptance will come. You'll fetch for something which you'll really like doing. And you'll do that in life, irrespective of how much amount of monetary returns that is given to you.
Yes.
Thank you. And let's we have time for one more question. Salishma?
Yes, ma'am. Hello, sir. Actually, I have a question that how is Feng Shui or Vastu Shastra related or important in interior designing?
Yes. Vastu Shastra is, I'll talk about Vastu Shastra because it has an origin maybe in India. Feng Shui, I'm not still studied Feng Shui in detail, or I've never come across any client or somebody giving me an input about let our design follow Feng Shui. But yes, we have many a time clients coming and telling us that Sanjeev, let's follow Vastu Shastra. Many times we have a professional Vastu Shastra consultant appointed on the project also who works with us, or we work with him hand in hand. When I say we work with him, because I always believe these people are more knowledgeable than us. Because when you talk about Vastu, it's more about architecture, and interior is only a small segment of architecture. So we work with them hand in hand on the project. Yes, there are people who have hard beliefs in Vastu Shastra, because whatever Vastu Shastra I have understood or I have learned or I've been seeing, or fortunately I'm connected with, they are all based upon the natural elements or the 5 elements of nature. Okay, rather than the superstitious aspects which many people have worked out upon. So I think so Vastu Shastra is good. It has got fabulous solutions, giving you a very nice insight about how nature and natural elements are inflicting the interior spaces, and you can follow them. And again, fortunately, there are remedies in that, or there are counterbalances wherever you can't follow them 100%. You've got some small remedies which you have to do. These remedies are small rituals which are to be done. And I always believe when there's a ritual, okay, there's a tradition or a ritual, it will always create positive energy in the spaces.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else? Anyone else? Sanjeev, did you want to say anything or ask anything before we close for the day?
Yes, what I want to ask you is, all of them, in fact, or I would like you people to, try to pursue some art form, okay, any type of an art form, because I believe art will allow you to connect with yourself, and I will always believe having some me time for yourself, just you communicating with you. I generally, when I drive a lot, I keep talking to myself, and I think so it's good, or it's a healthy note to talk to yourself, because at least as an elderly person, when I talk to myself, it is a mature communication between me and myself, which helps me in evaluating what exactly I'm doing. Okay, or I keep questioning myself, okay, what am I doing in life? So maybe you can put this question in front of you rather than people coming and telling you what right and wrong you're doing. I feel in the morning when I stand in front of a mirror, okay, I should be able to look into my eyes and I should feel good about myself. So the day you achieve that aspect, I think so you have won every aspect of life.
That's wonderful. Right?